Hi everyone, Matt Bernier here in the Daily Racing Forum studios, joined by DRF's national handicapper Mike Watchmaker. We're taking a look at this weekend's Weekend Warrior for Saturday, September the 23rd, a big day of racing at Parks, highlighted by the Grade 1 Pennsylvania Derby, but the co-featured event is the Grade 1 Cotillion for 3-year-old fillies. They're going to go a mile and a 16th on the main track, and we will begin there. Mike, it's the return of Kentucky Oaks winner Abel Tasman. You're going to take a small shot against with Lockdown.
I am. I think the cutback of distance is really going to suit Lockdown. Lockdown, I had questions about Lockdown going into the Alabama last time, specifically about the 1.25 mile distance. And, I thought she ran okay in that race for a horse that I thought might be compromised by the distance. She was taken back and hard held in the early stages, made a nice 4-wide run around the far turn, and simply tired. Now she cuts back to 1 mile and a 16th, the distance at which 2 starts back. She finished a very good second in the Mother Goose at Belmont Park. And the reason why I thought that race was very good is because Unchained Melody, who won it, was completely loose and unmolested on the early lead, and Lockdown being something of a closer, was up against it pace-wise that day. But still, she ran very well, finishing a game second, and she earned a 96 buyer figure that makes her right in the ballpark with everyone in this race, including Abel Tasman. And I just think that Lockdown, despite the presence of, Jose Ortiz's name on her, I don't know if he's going to ride over the weekend after taking a spill Wednesday at Belmont. But, I think she's going to fall through the cracks a little bit from a betting standpoint. I think Lockdown's going to offer some value, although I do admit that Abel Tasman's going to take a lot of beating in here.
There are a number of fillies that exit the Alabama that come back here in the Cotillion. You've got the likes of It Tis Well, Actress, Mopatism, as well as Salty outside of Lockdown. Are any of those fillies interesting to you in this spot?
Well, I thought It Tis Well ran well to finish second in the Alabama. The pace she cut out that day was a strong one. And, it's 1.25 miles, and a lot of these 3-year-old fillies probably really don't want to go that far. Even though she's a daughter of art, she'll probably never have to go 1.25 miles again. And I think the cutback in distance will help her. And she's not a need to lead type. So, I thought It Tis Well ran well, finishing second in the Alabama. And I would give her a look in this spot. As for Salty, who finished third in the Alabama, I think she's a high-quality filly. I really do. And I understand why they're running her in this race. It's a Grade 1 race with a 7-figure purse. But I'm really waiting for the time where, where they don't have to run in races like this, and they can do what I think she really wants to do, which is cut her back to extended one-turn races. I think Salty is going to be very salty when her connections decide to go that route. So I'm a little bit against her in here, but I'm looking for the day when she actually runs in extended one-turn races. We do have to talk about Abel Tasman and why I'm taking a shot against her in this race. And I mean, she comes into this looking for her 4th straight Grade 1 win. All her last 3 Grade 1 wins were ever since they added blinkers to her equipment. She's the ranking 3-year-old filly in the country right now because of those 3 Grade 1 wins. She might not be the best. Unique Bella might be the most talented 3-year-old filly in the country, and she certainly toyed with Abel Tasman early this year. But Abel Tasman's really built up a very compelling resume. But if you take, well, when I take a close look at her past performances, and maybe others might not agree, but when I look at them, I noticed that she got a 99 buyer figure when she won the Acorn 2 starts back. That's a 1-turn mile at Belmont Park. When she won the Country Club American Oaks last time with a wild early move down the backstretch, and when she won the Kentucky Oaks 3 starts back, when she looped the field from off the pace, she earned buyer figures of only 92 in those races. Those were 2-turn races, and I just wonder if Abel Tasman, even though she's won graded stakes races going 2 turns, if she just might not be a better horse going 1 turn, like a 1-turn mile of the Acorn. And I mean, if she doesn't do better than a 92 buyer figure in this race, she's liable to get beat.
Staying on her for a moment, is there anything that concerns you about the fact that she didn't return at Saratoga when all along the plan was, okay, maybe not the Alabama, but maybe the personal incident against Elders? Does that bother you at all?
Maybe it was the 1.25 mile distance. It doesn't bother me. Unfortunately, races like the Alabama have become, dinosaurs. And It's a mile and a quarter race for 3-year-old fillies. I mean, what other time of the year do 3-year-old fillies have to go a mile and a quarter? The answer is none in a big spot. I mean, they don't even have to do it in the Breeders' Cup unless they run against older males in the Classic. So, they passed the Alabama for a mile and a 16th race with a $1 million purse. I could understand that move, and it doesn't bother me at all.
Race number 10 at Parks on Saturday afternoon, a day filled with graded stakes action down in Bensalem, Pennsylvania. It's the Grade 1 Cotillion for 3-year-old fillies. Abel Tasman makes her return. She's the horse to beat. Mike's going to take a shot against her with the number 2 lockdown for Bill Mott. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the second of 3 for this Saturday's Weekend Warrior. We stay at Parks. We're going to go 6 furlongs with the 3-year-old boys. It's the Gallant Bob.